79
Oh.
gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though, and Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Bertiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down in the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Go into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Derek Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome everybody into this Numb Thumbs Racing League Xfinity Series race here back from Daytona, where these guys, after a long break the rust free and we get ready to get up and rumbling here at this great plate track for 2.5 miles and 80 laps. So math and yada 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 all breaks on down to 200 miles in total here tonight, all at breakneck speeds. So as we look forward to getting this one all started, let's get things kicked off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, these great races wouldn't be able to happen without some fantastic partners like Stub Nation here tonight. Thank you to all y'all out there in that Stub Nation for supporting the NTRL with sponsoring tonight's race, as well as a big thank you over there to JP Designs and 3D Prints for stepping on up and getting some sponsorships in here, and we appreciate you guys. Same thing there with Track Bar Media as well. For that fantastic intro and all that. So thank you guys so much, as well as big thank you to AdminBoxx here as well, jumping on board for the season as well. So thank you, AdminBoxx, as well as a big thank you to, make sure you get this right, we got TrackDogsRacing.com, your premier merchandising supplier over here for the NTRL. It's a big thank you over there. Also, big thank you to SimGearCentral.com as well. some great button boxes over there, so be sure to go check them out and mention NTRL and AAA Broadcasting over there to get 10% off your next order. Of course, big thank you to Numb Thumbs Gaming Trucking Community. They've just reached a massive milestone of members gained. So if you like doing some trucking, please join one of the best communities on the truck simulator with the NTG Trucking. As well as big thank you to Davidson Builders, your proud action replay sponsor for the league. As always, I'm Alan Brown. Mr. English was stepping away here for a second to go turn on a water heater at work, but apparently it was a false alarm. So
has been resolved.
So glad to have you back, Mr. English. As always, I'm Alan Brown. I have the flu, so we're gonna start calling this the curse broadcast, because English might have to step away here again. But of course, being joined by my good friend Mr. Alan English here in the booth. I'll try not to get you too infected here, buddy, but
I'm good.
We get 80 laps here at Daytona here tonight. These guys have been out of action for a little while, and so this is going to be a fun little re-entry program we got for them.
Yeah, it's been on a short hiatus here, but it's good to have them back here, especially at an awesome track like Daytona. They never disappoint here. Every time we come here to Daytona running on the big oval, it's always a lot of fun. And Richard Gray is out there with them tonight, so welcome back, Richard, to the Xfinity Series. And yeah, it's going to be a blast out there tonight. Can't wait to see what tonight has in store.
Indeed, and down there on pit road, doesn't have his camera on anymore because he's all about those shenanigans, but Mr. Adam Turner on pit road, and we get ready to see some bumper grinding action here at Daytona. We're going to see 2x2, sometimes 3x3 racing here, Adam, and talk about a great way to get the season restarted here.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to it. 2023. I thought my camera was working, man. I don't know what the heck's going on. Probably the breaker broke, like the beer breaker on English's end there. So definitely looking forward to this tonight. It's Daytona. I think somebody said something about Joe say something about re-entry program, because that's pretty cool. I got some convicts I need to get re-entered into the program myself. 1 fast repair, 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires, 25 incident points. You will be disqualified. That's going to be kind of tough. We probably won't hit that number, but you never know. Hey, it's Daytona, man. It's a party right now.
And that indeed, as we take a look at tonight's race info and this beautiful 2.5 mile super speedway here in Daytona. Gonna be nighttime, so no weather issues, or no temperature issues, I should say, for these guys, as it's always a nice sunny day here in the sim. Nice cool night, so that track temp should be nice and low and extra grippy for these guys to absolutely rip around here. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and man, it's been a good hot minute since these guys have been in action, so it's going to be shaking off the rust, but you're doing it at 190 miles per hour. I mean, like I said, it's been a good minute since these guys raced around each other, so definitely be on the lookout for maybe some miscommunications, maybe a little bit of errors, and all that adds up to some big time excitement.
Yeah, man, it should be very exciting. I don't know if English left or he got called back to work.
No, there's some noise. I was trying to keep my microphone muted.
Oh, noise.
Yeah.
You're having problems
like,
over there. Everything's off tonight. I mean, hey, Brown, we're gonna have to save you from this flu. We need to get him some like whiskey and honey, and maybe we can get him right just to get him through the race.
Fixing my toddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, as these drivers head on out for qualifying right now. We got Tim Stubblefield out there, of course, part of that leader, I should say, of Stub Nation, putting in some good lap times there. As Currently, Vince Short sitting on top of that leaderboard. The 5 of Jason Kraft. Haven't seen him here in action in a hot minute, but glad to have him back out on track, trying to put in some good lap times. Mark Collins, Mac Daddy in that 23 machine, trying to maybe zoom up that leaderboard a little bit here, just getting his run started.
I don't know if you guys have touched on it yet, but the chat over there in the YouTube stream is lit up with pretty much looks like all of Stub Nation out there tonight. Jessica Stubblefield, Sean Reese, Jennifer Ray, Rebecca Davis, Lauren Stubblefield, Skylar Davis, and Nikki Short out there pulling for Team Short, of course. Vincent Short, all the way, says 7-Eleven Trick. Richard G, giving us a nice little compliment there. Thank you, Richard. We're doing the best we can out here, buddy. And Neff Racing is in the house tonight as well. Mike Adamson joining us over there. Thank you for being here, Mike. And Ian out there as well, pulling for Stub Nation. So there's a reason Stub Nation is the sponsor for this race. I guess they got everybody to come out tonight, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the actual Stub Nation 200, so that makes sense.
It's the pound sign. The
Oh,
pound
is it
sign
hashtag?
Stub Nation.
Yeah, hashtag. Oh,
hashtag.
Richard Gray is actually in here racing. Hold on. Dust off the cobwebs off of his rig.
Good to see Richard in that 110 Michelob Ultra machine.
What
back
does
out
the
here.
hashtag even mean?
It has something to do with like tweeting and stuff. That's what
Tweeting?
It's for. Yeah, it's like you're tagging an idea.
That's the
And then-
communist corporation that
and
was
then-
banning everything that under the sun, wasn't it?
Well, you can click on somebody's hashtag on their comment, and it'll take you to other people that have used that same. They call it a hashtag. It's a
Like a common denominator, like
yeah. It kind of links.
hashtag we hate English, you know, and then it trends.
That's going to be trending
and-
soon.
Then if we look up, so you can look up that hashtag and then see who did whatever on it, right? That's so
Yeah.
dumb. But
That's what it
hashtag
is.
hashtag Stub Nation, let's make that trend. That would be cool. Let's break Zuckerberg's back tonight. Tired of this.
Oh, that
son of a
reminds
gun.
me. I got to post the video link on our Facebook page. Real quick.
Yeah, probably should. Well, what's happening out here in qualifying, Brown? I can't really. I just think qualifying for a Daytona is almost a moot point for me.
It
I
is.
think really the main thing is just getting with teammates and working your way through the back of the field. I don't know what y'all think.
That's usually what ends up happening, but hey, you never know. Starting up at the front can definitely be a good thing, especially with, you know, sometimes a lot of the shenanigans happens right there in the middle of the field, so you may not want to necessarily be there. As Kevin Winker jumps up the leaderboard for top 10 starting position right now.
Clean air is very important here, but you got to think about this as well. Fuel mileage. I mean, if you're leading one of these lines around out there for any length of time, you're burning a heck of a lot more fuel than the guys behind you that are tucked in and taking advantage of that aerodynamic advantage of the draft. So if you're going to be leading one of these lines, it's best to maybe rotate out with somebody, let them take a point for a little bit on the front of one of these lines. We talk about that rotating. It's like a merry-go-round up front of drivers changing positions, you know, passing on the outside and dropping down to the middle, and it's just keeps going and going. So we shall see. But yeah, clean air is important as far as grip goes, because these guys are going to have to put some wheel in it in the turns, and want to make sure you don't shoot up the track. You want some air on your nose, so try to get lower than the car in front of you when that turn comes up. Maybe get a little air on that nose.
Yeah, sorry. You know what, Brown? I think something got me too. So I was out there. I got me a new burn barrel, and whatever was inside the burn barrel, I had to burn off. You know, and that I think it kind of got to my brain. It might have been transmission fluid. I don't know what it was,
Oh,
but yeah, it got up and inhaled it a couple times on accident, and maybe that's what's causing my lightheadedness.
is that what you used to start those rose bushes on fire today?
Well, I used
What you were burning
fire.
those old
I was
rose
burning
bushes?
a few. I just was doing a test run because I had so much, lubricant
Yard
inside
waste.
inside the barrel. Right, I was trying to burn some of that off, but I think it might be to my.
Oh, that's what
detriment.
came in the barrel. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah.
I got you. I thought you were talking about
straight from the refinery. I just picked it up. It was near the fence line. They're for free right there, right? You just grab them.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't get caught. They're free.
Anyway, burned off a lot of excess today. Brain is hurting a little bit, so we're all a little bit discombobulated. Would you say?
A little hazzled, a little frazzled here, but nonetheless, we are here with some great racing as we get things all gridded on up down there on pit road. Getting us started is that 15 of Vince Short. Got the 23 of Mark Collins starting on his outside. The 051 Kevin Haas getting a good starting spot here tonight. There in the bottom on row number 2. Up on his outside, 747 Albert Anderson starting in 4th. 751 Mike Adamson will start here in 5th with the 32 of Nick Biddy starting in 6th. 7th will be the 4 of Anthony Williams with the 03 of Dylan Brandt on his outside there in 8th. 9th will be the 42 of Kevin Winker with the 13 of Paul Durkee rounding out tonight's top 10.
Row number 6 is going to be the Gambler, Paul Ferdiani, in that 33 car on the inside, and to his outside, the 31 of Scott Milner. Row number 7 is going to be the 5 of Jason Kraft and the 1 of Derek Welch, who just celebrated a birthday here the other day. The 55 of Tom Barish and the 79 of Tim Stubbs Stubbefield, making up row number 8. Row number 9 is going to be, Justin Lawson and Chris Klein in the 18. Row number 10, and rounding out your top 20, the 48 of Zeth Hawley and the 9 of Joe David.
All right, man. Looks like number 8, Brandon Coleman will start this thing. 21st, 69, Larry Dickerson. 22nd, Kyle Hess. I believe he might be race control. I'm not quite sure. I know he's an admin, but it has him sitting there. 23rd, 00 Joe Bennett. 24th, 63, Dave Holmberg. Could be 25th. And our fan favorite, one of the favorites in the world of iRacing, the oldest man in iRacing, the 110, Richard Michelob Gray.
Number his age, or is that just urban legend?
It's very close. I mean,
Oh, okay.
he's definitely, I think
maybe
he's hit
half.
the triple digits. I mean, he told me when he was in World War II, it was a tough time. He was in the Pacific Theater, so it's rough for old Richard.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but he was talking. You got him really. You got to get him really drunk when he starts talking about, when he was helping build the Great Wall of China too. Had to think way back on it.
And, we got to thank our Civil War veterans. I'm not sure if he wore blue or gray. He was probably a gray uniform guy. But,
There's actually no telling what was going on. They didn't have the interwebs for us to spy on him back then.
all right, I think we gave Richard enough hell for one day.
Yeah, one lap. We'll leave him alone after this. Great dude. We just have fun with him. There's a lot of great guys in here. Timothy Stubblefield, the 79. This race has got his name on it. So
That's right.
can't wait to see what happens here for him.
I had a shot at winning one of these races not too long ago, but was making some questionable moves there, kind of coming back down towards the end. So hopefully gets the result he wants to here tonight as this field enters into the tri-oval for the first time. And away we go. Green flag racing here from Daytona. Side by side, nose to tail. We go down into turns 1 and 2. The 15 Vince Short getting a good start there with the 051 sitting right there on that back bumper. The top line, though, missing a few members. You got the 23 Mark Collins there. He's getting some help from the 747, but after that, really nobody else around them there as that everyone tries to slowly get formed on up. Looks like the 03 of Dylan Bryant's going to slide up to that top line there and fill in some of that gap and get everybody all back up close together here as the side-by-side action continues down through turns 3 and 4. Still side-by-side as this race continues to rumble on here, completing lap number 1 as everybody kind of gets on in for the long road ahead.
Yeah, the 03 originally started in the outside line, moved down to the inside. It looked like they were going to start single filing out, and then he saw the huge run coming with the 13 and everybody that was behind him. So he said, "You know what? I'm going to move back up there. This outside line looks like it's got some legs."
Yeah, kind of shaking around up top. Everybody's trying to kind of sort out where they want to be. Air's flowing off the cars a little bit, making them a little bit wiggly. Let's see if they can straighten this thing out. So far, real clean.
It takes a couple laps to get up to that top speed that they're going to be running close to 190 miles an hour here. So looks like they're quickly approaching that as we're starting to see speeds about 189, 190 in the middle of the field here.
Sweet. Take a look here at the roof cam from Justin Lawson. He's got the 79 Stubblefield there up on the outside, but you can see the massive wall of traffic sitting there right there in front of him. Ooh, looks like the gambler's going to shuffle his way on back.
Yeah, he went ahead and bailed. He said, I think I've had enough of the front for a while. I think I'm going to ride around the back.
It's not a bad place to be, I'll tell you. I enjoy racing in like Daytona or Talladega, and I like being kind of mid to back. Just stay with the front pack and you're gonna be fine. That's the whole thing. Just try to stay with the front pack.
A lot of side-by-side action still happening out there. Thankfully, not a lot of three-wide action just yet, as it's very, very early in this race. We're only on lap number 4 of this 80-lap contest. It looks like the 75 machine, or the 751, I should say, of Mike Adamson doing like Paul did and just pulling down below that double yellow and said, all right, everybody go ahead and go around me. Don't like what I'm seeing up front.
I got to be careful. He was clipping some grass and the bus stop chicane exit curbing there, so a little bit of a sketchy ride for the 751, but he's able to maintain control and keep it on up here in the main group, as it doesn't look like we've lost really anybody. We do have some decent movers already, like the 18 Chris Klein. He's already up about 5 spots here, riding around on in that 18 machine on the bottom side right now.
13 moving along pretty good here early in the race and run that outside line. That's Paul Durkee, one of your GOAT team out there. Love those awesome brewery paints that he makes. Or has made. I'm not sure if
he likes those little breweries he don't even drink, which is good.
Yeah, it's very
still supports them.
Artistic, yeah.
Well, what's the deal with
kind of a theme? It's kind of neat.
Mike Albert Anderson, America's Drivers paint. He's seen this paint a couple times. It's kind of American flag theme at the front, checkered flag theme at the back, I guess. But he loves these. I know he loves these plate tracks. He's looking good so far, 4th.
You either love them or you hate them. You know, you got guys like Michelob and Albert Anderson that love these tracks, and guys like that one, Derek Welch, absolutely despises plate racing. So he says, but he's awfully good at these pack racing tracks whenever they come here.
Yeah, I don't buy what he's selling there. I really don't. And I think a lot of it is you don't like it sometimes because it's very stressful. There's like a lot of gambling involved here. And it's not really skill. I mean, any clown could win something here. You've won a race at Daytona before.
It's Talladega, yeah.
Or Yeah, same thing,
Just
basically.
about. Got a little bit more room at Talladega, but
Right.
yeah, man, you can
I
do
mean,
everything perfectly right in this race and still get wiped out. I think that's
oh yeah,
why a lot of people they just dread coming to places like this. So you can
yeah.
wreck your season, basically.
You could even a loser like yourself could come and beat the greatest drivers here.
True.
Ooh,
All
man.
right, I'm enough banging on you. I was just trying to. You didn't even take the bait. I was just trying to have fun.
Don't phase me anymore, man. It's just I'm just here so I won't get fined.
We've also seen though some big kind of shakeups happen through this field a couple times here early on. Just again, I think it's got to be that rust that's these guys haven't raced here in a good minute and trying to maintain and hold the line with the car in front of you when you really can't even see the turn that's coming up, especially with how close some of these guys are running. Man, it's one of those things where unless you're doing it pretty much every other day, it's a skill that you can definitely lose.
So you can leave a little bit wider gap in front of you. The trouble is that the tighter you are, the faster you're going to be. So if you're like the 03 right now or the 55, leaving this pretty good sized gap so you can see and react to what's happening out there on the track, your line's not going to run as fast. And as I say that, it looks like they've got to run on the outside line. The inside line's actually doing pretty well right here. But it's Adam, you could speak a little to this. I mean, there's so much going on with the air with these cars that you can't see, and but you can see it when a group of cars it looks like they're doing 3 miles an hour faster than the guys in the other line, and that kind of creates some line envy and some guys wanting to switch where they're at.
Yeah, that's a good term, line envy. But you can't see the air, but if the drivers can feel it. And if you're watching the race, you can kind of see what's going on with the air with the way of the cars here in this situation are kind of bouncing around a little bit. The side draft plays a lot. The air coming off the spoiler of the guy next to his car, just where you are in the track in general. There's so many variables with the race, and that's what I love. That's kind of why I love these plate track races.
We haven't seen a whole lot of side drafting tonight where guys will get down close to the car that's right next to them. Side drafting does not speed you up. When you put a side draft on another car, it does not speed you up like drafting a car from behind. All it does is put more air on the spoiler of the car beside you and slow them down. It does nothing for your speed, but it does kind of slow the car down beside you. So you got to keep that mindset. You got to keep that in the back of your mind when you're trying to figure out where to be and what to do.
It's just another tactic, right? I mean, I don't care if it's not speeding me up, but it's slowing you down. It's still that in general is speeding me up. Maybe not
relatively
miles per hour wise, but you'll see some side drafting as we get closer to the end of this thing, I think. But right now it's pretty smooth.
13 has been doing it a little bit. He did it beside the 5 some, and we saw those two cars almost rubbing paint this past lap. But you can see the outside line's got a pretty good run right now, with the 23 leading the way. 15 events short, doing a great job on the inside line there, leading those guys. Love the Budweiser throwback paint on that 051.
Yeah, but the thing to watch out for here, though, is that 15 has been leading. Same thing with the 23. They've been leading these lines for a long time now. Pretty much all 13 of these laps that they have completed thus far. So be on the lookout for them to be one of the first guys to take their pick on when to come on down pit road and Unfortunately for the 23, ooh, as a big shakeup happens throughout the field here, the 23 kind of stuck up on that outside lane, so he's going to have to try to figure out a way to get to that bottom lane before even questions coming on down to pit road.
These guys continue to run out there. We're going to see how many laps they can make on a fuel run. They run 70% fuel here. So can they make it to halfway? That's kind of the question that's in the back of my mind right now, because tires isn't really going to be an issue here, is it, Adam? I mean, you're putting a little bit of wheel into it, but I mean, it's not really necessary to stop for tires, on every pit stop here at Daytona.
No, I think here you probably just need, you got 80 laps. I'd change them once, maybe. You could probably make the whole run on the same set of tires, but I would change them at least one time. It's all about the fuel. It's all about the strategy with your neighbor, your teammates, and all that.
Sure, and if you got in a situation where you had to make some quick movements on the steering wheel, it would definitely help if you had 4 better tires than as opposed to ones that were 75 laps old. They're not going to be great for grip out there, but we'll see what these guys do when they eventually do stop and fill it with some Sunoco race fuel, because we know they're not going to make it to the end of this deal. See how many guys try to split this race in half.
And how about that 48 of Seth Hawley out here? Normally running a Lowe's paint scheme, but still sticking with the Jimmy Johnson style and Exalta or whatever you pronounce that company.
Yep.
But interesting olive green with some red there. Definitely new. Haven't seen a scheme like that out here on track. Of course, we got the double nickel running the None Thumbs Gaming Community 55 machine as well, looking sharp as ever. Got the 03 Pepsi machine of Dylan Bryant, looking nice and shiny with all that chrome.
Mac up here. Let's see. Trying to find my camera that I like here. Now I got too many cameras.
Oh my God,
So
you've over-camered?
Yeah. So the 23 Mac, Mark Collins out here running a Numb Thumbs paint scheme. Numb Thumbs Gaming Community, they do so much more than iRacing over there. We had a convoy last night, American Truck Simulator. It was a lot of fun. And they do a little bit of everything. If you're looking for some guys to play games with, sims with, go check them out. They're Numb Thumbs Gaming Community. Jump on the Discord. There's always somebody on there to help you answer questions. There's so much stuff to read on there. These guys are pretty well organized. So
Reading is hard. I'll tell you what you need to do is check out trackdogsracing.com. I got some stuff on the way. I'm going to have to be sporting for some of these broadcasts. The gear there is awesome. The hats, the shirts, the cups, all the stuff. trackdogsracing.com. Check them out.
Actually, speaking of which, I need to check on my order status.
Yeah, check on the order status.
I'm falling behind the times. I gotta look on there.
Yeah, they got some real neat stuff. I'm telling you, it's really cool. I like the polo, the Track Dogs Racing polo, that Adidas. That's a neat polo. There's the leagues, a lot of different leagues that we are a part of, luckily, like this one. Some Numb Thumbs racing stuff. There's HCK Beagles, other stuff going on, all kinds of cool stuff. And the individual drivers, they have their own shirts and stuff. Not to mention AAA broadcasting.
Yeah, so I should have a supposedly. Of course, you never know when a company with the color brown is involved. You never know when it actually might show up. But supposedly it was supposed to be here Saturday. Now it's saying Tuesday, but the package is in my general area, so we'll see.
See, what does that even mean? I mean, a moose is in your general area too, but that doesn't mean it's close enough to shoot it. I don't. don't get it, but that's pretty fun. Well, you'll have to share it with us when you get it.
Yeah,
then,
I want
Brad.
to see it. I want to check it out.
Absolutely. And
Looks like I was gonna say, it looks like up front it's the same old story here so far. Got Vince Short leading leading Haas and Biddy on the inside line, and Max out there with Albert Anderson behind him, and Paul Durkee behind. It's been pretty much the same 6, 8, 10 drivers, not really changing positions at all here up front, which is not really something we see here at a plate track. Usually we get kind of that rotation, that lazy Susan effect, Mr. Brown, as you like to call it, up front, but we haven't seen that at all tonight.
no, and I think with these, we normally see that in those trucks. I mean, those trucks just draft so good, and it's a whole different dynamic with how those things drive. But the Xfinity car is a little bit different. But you know what? We also haven't seen like extremely tight nose to tail. We haven't seen that top side line really try to get any of those big runs going. We've seen people, give a little bit of space. We've also seen, a little bit of that snaking between the lines. Some people just maybe a little too much input coming off or going on into the turn. So, that has an aspect. So everyone's just leaving a little bit of that extra space. But right now, the 23 having a big old run here. Not quite able to get the full car clear, though, of that 15. So they're going to stay side by side as we're here on lap 21. And I got a feeling these guys have to be coming on down by lap 25.
I don't think it'll be too terribly much longer. You've got, the Albert Anderson in that 747 really tried to get the 23 out there in front, but couldn't do it on his own. Yeah, I think you're right. The Xfinity cars, they're going to be a lot different in the draft than, say, the trucks or even the next-gen cars run differently here. The 23 puts a little side draft down there on Haas in the 51.
Yeah, I was watching Jason Kraft. I like the number 5's paint scheme tonight. AARP, I think is what it says on the hood. I'm all about that. He's up 4. There's not too many people moving up. Adamson is probably the biggest loser at the moment, so to speak. He's 14 spots down, but that doesn't matter here. Hell, he'll be back in the mix in no time.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, we still have everybody all a part of this main group, which is really impressive. Normally by this point, we see a couple separate kind of groups forming up and like a chase pack all forming up, but no, these guys are doing a great job keeping it all here locked together. As the 31 Scott Milner and the Reese's machine kind of stuck on the outside, almost sliding up into the wall there for a quick second.
Yeah, he sure did. That orange car bouncing around a little bit. There is some movement on the top of the track. It's like if one car kind of makes a little wiggle, makes a mistake, it seems to just follow the leader basically as the further down you go in the field. So
Cracking a whip, huh?
yeah, kind of. That's what it looks like. Good. Man, you're making all kinds of smart conversations tonight. What's going on? Am I talking to the same guy I know?
The same one you were bashing earlier? No, you're right, man. There is kind of a little bit of a snake formation going on up there. Here's what I'm starting to wonder, boys. When are these guys going to start trying to get down on that inside line to pit? Because, like you said, Brown, they're not going to go 40 laps like we were talking about earlier. They're not going to be able to make it.
It's 48. Zeth Hawley scraping the outside wall just a little bit there. He's got Adamson sitting right behind him. Looks like the 48 sliding on down right in front of 00 Joe Bennett there. And 00 Joe hoping those Jaguars of his do what they needed to do to make their way into the playoffs.
They were near the playoffs?
Believe it or not, if they won today and then like 3 other teams lose, they would have been in the playoffs.
Well, everybody had to lose. Their quarterback needs to cut his hair. His face doesn't.
Now.
His hair doesn't match his face. He looks like a teenage girl. I just don't get it.
He looks like from one of the guys from the band Hanson. kind of.
Yeah,
The guy
yeah, there you
the
go.
blonde
Yeah.
hair guy?
Hanson, yes.
Oh, come
The
on.
one from Ohio State, or where was he at?
Yeah, he was at Clemson.
Clemson. Okay.
No, come on. Now
He needs to cut
it's
his hair.
remember the Titans. You got Sunshine. Sunshine.
See, I never saw that.
Remember the Titans?
No, I
No?
don't. I don't. Anything with the word Titan in it, I don't watch it. You know that.
Oh no, you're gonna
Now you
fire
started
up all
with
the
the-
Nashville people.
Yeah, I know
This
the
is
Titans
Sub
can't be in the
Nation
playoffs.
break.
They're trash. Well, I'll tell you what, the Oilers would have been in the playoffs if they didn't get
Oh my
their
God.
name stolen. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It was like I'm triggered
They triggered
somehow.
you. Just
I get
still
triggered.
laughing at you.
Cool. Well, look at Stubblefield into 79. That I like where he's at on the track, to be honest with you. I want to be right there where he's at, kind of little space in between me and the front, and a little bit ahead of the guys in the back. I played track racing like that, and he's on the low line. This is where you're going to need to be pretty soon to get your pit stops in.
Well, Nikki Short just letting us know the Jags did. They are the division champs. They did get it done. It was painful to watch, but they did get it done.
Division of trash.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's terrible division. Indianapolis.
hey,
Whoa. Stubblefield got involved in something there.
Ooh, still trying to save it. It's down there on the apron. Still green flag racing, though, on the apron. Oh, my goodness. Dirt tracking that thing around.
Yeah, there was a slowdown there and checkup, and I don't know exactly what happened. We have to check that out.
Everybody knows the real trash division is the NFC South right now. I have no problem admitting that.
Joe David got in decline. There was some kind of slowdown, and then right behind him was Stubblefield.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got a bunch of people calling out pit stops here. And some of them look like they're on the outside still. So, they're trying to bully their way onto the inside line here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, here we go. The mass exodus off the racetrack. Ooh, little bumping and grinding going on between the gambler and somebody else. Oh, the 03 almost getting involved with the 4 as well. And it looks like everybody, though, able to figure out a way to safely make it on down onto pit road. So that's going to leave the 13 of Paul Durkee out in front with the lead. 747 of Albert Anderson in tow with the 31 of Scott Milner and the 051 Kevin Haas there as well. So green flag pit stops now underway.
Great job by everybody staying off each other and staying below the pit speed limit there. No white flags here so far. So they all got it down to 60.
Albert Anderson, I think he's coming down. He said he was. Here he comes.
Oh, he's a notorious offender. Let's see if he can keep it under 60.
What
Scott
do you
Milner.
mean?
Black flag.
Ooh, Dave
Oh.
Holmberg. A little too spicy down there onto pit road.
You're saying Albert Anderson is a notorious offender for speeding on
Oh,
pit
yeah.
road? Oh,
He's a
just
left
got
foot.
turned. Oh, he just got turned too on pit road. by
What?
Yeah, that he did.
Haas.
I think
What
he and
happened
Haas. Oh, they're just basically almost share a pit stop there.
Yeah, that was weird.
Stalls are right there together, huh?
And
normally
Haas
is.
coming up on the inside as Anderson was trying to make his turn down into the pits. Oh man.
Yeah, that was kind of silly.
Here comes everybody else. So far, Scott Milner, the only person busted for speed, and he's finishing up serving his 40-second penalty.
So I'm gonna blame that one on Haas. I think 747 probably needs to get him learned, teach him not to do that.
48 is Seth
Cut
Hawley overslides his pit box just a little bit there.
What do you mean? You're not supposed to get angry when somebody undercuts you like that?
I'm not calling people out. Come on now.
Well, I'm just saying what I would do if you did that to me. I'd turn to a Pocono every time.
Yeah, but you never did. You never did. You never got me back for that.
I get you back every week by talking about it. It's even more
Yeah,
fun.
that's true. I was never in physical danger.
Well, as Paul Durkee, Winker, and a few others rejoin the racetrack, they're going to be seeing a big mob of traffic already up to speed, led by that 23 and Mark Collins flying up on through here. So this is probably some of the most dangerous side of the racing aspect here at Daytona that we see, is people coming out of the pits trying to get up to speed, while people already on the track at speed go around them here. And you can see the 23 with some help from the 32 with Nick Biddy, as well as the 1 of Derek Welch, making their way around. They're now locking eyes on the 13 of Paul Durkee to try to catch on up into him and possibly get back up to the 42 of Kevin Winker here. So big shakeup throughout this field. Good pit stops for the most part. I know we had a few probably not so happy people down there, but either way.
3 wide. Oh, Durkee down on the apron. Loose. And that was hairy for a second.
It did get a little hairy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're still 3 wide here with the 03, and now it double files back out here. As everybody was kind of fighting and jawing and jockeying for position there.
Jason Kraft set the fastest lap of the race so far, 47.36 in the draft.
Wow.
That's moving, boys.
Yahtzee.
These guys, everybody able to get their pit stop done anywhere between lap 28 and lap 30. So we know we're going to see these guys come back down again, probably pretty close to lap, probably lap 60-ish. If that's about their limit on fuel, about 30 laps on fuel. So if they come in at lap 60, I don't know how many full service stops you're going to see. We may see a bunch of fuel only stops here at lap 60. What do you think there, Brown?
It's totally a possibility, especially knowing they only have to run about 20 more laps or so, and they should be good on fuel, seeing how they were able to get 30 laps in on this last run. So it's it'll be close, but I think you're right. I think we saw a lot of at least 2 tire stops, a few 4 tire stops in there as well, but we didn't see fuel only on this time. So I think the next time these guys go around us, we're 3 wide up here for the front of this race right now. Winker, Welch, and Collins battling it out. Welch kind of in the middle, all by his lonesome here. That's going to allow the 42 of Winker to kind of leapfrog back. It's still 3 wide, though, with the 32 of Biddy up on the outside now.
Yeah, Derek Welch stuck in the middle with no help. It's like he'll drop back. His teammate Mack is going to stay in second place here. And there's no gap for him to drop down. Oh, the 55, his other teammate, let him down there. So the 1 able to rejoin the low line. Nick Biddy needs to close that gap on the 23 if they're going to give that outside line a chance. And it looks like he will do that. That draft is something else. Look how fast he's catching up.
So we take a look at
here comes the lap car.
And taking a look from the back bumper there of the 42 as the 31 of Scott Milner is starting to go at least 1 lap down here, and you can see the field trying to shuffle their way around. This is where it gets a little dicey as well. He's already a little slow. Oh, it's a 73. Oh my goodness, hold on to it. They're 9. I don't think he will. Snags the 48. Still green flag racing though, as no one really wrecked there. Everyone able to for the most part hang on to it. The 9 going for a wicked wild ride. Really nothing else he could have done with that one. Goes across that front bumper of the 48, but both drivers minimal damage, continuing to run green flag here.
Yeah, I think normally NASCAR would have thrown a yellow flag there, but because there was nobody coming up behind them immediately in the racing line, iRacing did not throw a yellow flag there. So the farther we continue with this race and get the drivers more and more spread out, you're going to see these small packs starting to develop. And I don't know how that's going to work out in the long run, if we'll see kind of some of the smaller packs able to, kind of get together and maybe catch some of these bigger ones like the one that's up front right now.
And
That's interesting, man.
That'll be a lot of work to do. Like, we got the 4 of Anthony Williams here. He does have some people trailing him. Mike Adamson is closely on his bumper, though, but the Gambler with 00 Joe Bennett not too far behind. Looks like the 4 does have some rear end damage there, so looks like he backed into one of those parking lot poles there at Walmart.
The big concrete base on him, yeah. That's what it looks like when these guys get smashed from behind. But they're kind of playing it loose up here in the front pack right now. You're barely seeing any 2 wide action here. As looks like Dylan Bryant and Nick Biddy are the only 2 that are running on the outside line right now. Everybody else is single file on the inside.
As that lap traffic, Milner looks like he might try to jump up to the outside to kind of aid the outside line here. A little bit of a gap between the 5s, though, and the 23. I think the 23 going to let some people shuffle on in and maybe calm things down for just a second, because they were pretty calm for the first chunk of that run all the way up to lap 30, and then everything got turned up to 11 there for the pit stops, and now I think everyone's ready to, like, all right, let's take another little break here and just put some laps down. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing here, or at least, at the very least, they're maybe talking like, hey, we got, 8 cars in this front group right now. Hey, if we can just keep this clean, keep it single file, maybe not fight each other, we can keep it just to us 8 here fighting out for the win here coming down the later stretch.
Well, and look, I want to talk about the 31 of Milner and that orange Reese's machine for just a second. He's not racing anybody up here in front right now. He's racing Holmberg, who's behind him, and Joe David and Albert Anderson for the Lucky Dog being 1 lap down. So Scott Milner is in a position where he can take more chances. He could jump on the outside and try to make a run start to work. So look for these lead lap cars to maybe watch Scott Milner and see what he's willing to do to maybe try to make something happen on the outside, making a huge run or something, because all it's going to do is help him. If he can unlap himself, that would be great for the 31.
Unlapping yourself is not easy. Bill Elliott knows how
no.
to do that.
I wish they would have teched that car a lot more, when he did do that one time.
Oh, no, you don't. I like the old NASCAR days where you could just cheat enough. You gave the official just enough cash in his pocket. It was fun. That's what it's all about. Nowadays, everything's so technical.
Kevin Haas in that Budweiser throwback car just set the fastest lap of the race. Once again, it got broken there. 46.86. Sub 47 seconds we're seeing out of these Xfinity cars here at Daytona.
Halfway through the race.
And how about those, Birdsong Brewery machines out there?
Yeah.
You got Coleman, Durkee, and Lawson all grouped up here together in one of these chase packs, working their way around the 9 and the 4 here. So they're kind of leading this secondary pack, trying to help them back up to where Chris Klein is, about 8 seconds up the road and in that main group in here. So they can do it. They just need some, some other teamwork to help them on out here, as we're just over halfway in this race here from Daytona. This hashtag Stump Nation 200 coming at you live. We're going to take a quick break from the action here for some words from some upcoming things here with the NTRL, but don't you worry, we'll be right back with some of this great racing action. And welcome back with the great racing action that we have for you in this hashtag Stub Nation 200 from Daytona in this NTRL Xfinity series here tonight. Kevin Winker leading the field. He's got 5 of Jason Kraft kind of there near his back bumper. He's kind of pushing along a lap traffic machine right now as they hustle their way down the backstretch right now on lap 46. Expecting the next round of pit stops to happen right there around lap 30. And that will be the possibly the final pit stops of this race here tonight. The 23 Mark Collins looking strong here as well. It's tucked back in the line behind the 03 and the 55, and then immediately looks right back on out. So trying to manage that run is the 23. Catching on up, though, is this Chase pack. You got Larry Dickerson leading that line right now with the 15 of Vince Short, Kevin Haas, Richard Michelob Gray, and then those Birdsong Brewing Company machines of Lawson, Ferdiani, and Coleman all tucked up into a line. And they're starting to eat back that gap that had built up to about 8 seconds. It's now down to about 6.5, give or take. So the Chase Pack doing Chase Pack things, trying to get it on down.
Hey, put yourself, Adam, in the seat of Kevin Winker right now. So he is definitely just wanting to stick behind 00 Joe Bennett right now. And Joe Bennett wants to stay in front of Winker, right? He wants to stay on the lead lap. He is right now still being scored on the lead lap because he's right there in front of the leader. So the leader's able to save a little bit of fuel right now. So I guess, wouldn't you say the 42's just hoping, hey, 00 Joe, just hold a perfectly straight line. I'm going to push you as hard as I can, and we're going to try to stay here. Is that kind of what's going through his mind?
Probably. I'm sure they've worked together as well in the past. I got to really get better with who's on what team. But here it is, 00 Joe Bennett happens to be on the same team as Kevin Winker.
Okay, there you go.
So there you go. There's your answer. Plus EV Racing with Paul Ferdiani and Zeth Holly. Yeah, man, doesn't matter. He's about to be a lap down. Just hold your line. We'll get you to the next caution so you can get your lap back, and you can help me lead this thing. So, but isn't that an interesting thing about racing? Like, a guy can be, 35th position, but he can still be of assistance to the leader.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We started this race with 25 cars, and we still have 25 out there on the racetrack. Really, no big incidents so far. I mean, we've had some close scares, but for the most part, everybody able to hang on to it, and we continue to have some great green flag racing here tonight.
This is when I say, this is just Numb Thumbs Racing League doing Numb Thumbs Racing League stuff, and that's being respectful, giving each other room. This is one of the best leagues in iRacing, man. There's several different series. They're fixing to start a truck league up as well, so look for that to be coming down the pike here soon. But Yeah, man, these guys have raced around each other quite a bit, and even the new guys that are here, uh, really following the program and creating some great racing for you guys at home to watch. Thank you so much for the thumbs up that y'all have given us here on the video tonight. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to be notified whenever we go live with a race. And you guys are the reason why we do this. All you guys out there supporting Stub Nation and supporting Vince Short and Jason Kraft. Thank y'all so much for joining us out there tonight. We sure appreciate you.
Well, I got real confused. I thought I was talking to the one and only John Madden, but it was English.
What? Did I say boom or something?
No, you sound like John Madden. You said just Numb Thumbs Racing out here doing Numb Thumbs Racing things or whatever. That's just a non. That's just a
That
John.
from Brown. Brown said that earlier.
Well, it just felt like
it
it felt like John Madden was in the house.
Brown
So
said it first. I'm just piggybacking.
okay, well, I must not have been here for that. But either way, yeah, hit the buttons. Don't let Zuckerberg win. We've been trying to fight this guy and the guy Bill Gates. Who voted? Did y'all vote for him? Because I never voted for that son of a gun. Let's oust Bill Gates. Let's get him out of our world. We don't need him involved in any of our lives. And Zuckerberg, hit the button so he lets us share this and like everything. Back to you, Brown.
Rant over.
Rant over as we continue this race here tonight, about 8 laps away from seeing the next round of green flag pit stops. How about that 110 of Richard Michelob Gray, up 14 spots right now, sitting in 12th inside this chase pack. He's behind that 051 of Kevin Haas, who had that incident on pit road with Albert Anderson. They're tucked in behind that 15 of Vince Short and the 69 of Larry Dickerson. Doing a great job working as that chase pack. Now that gap cutting down to inside of 6 seconds, so they are slowly ever making their way back up here to the front group. But of course, with another round of pit stops yet to go, all of that still could change.
It's the same Richard Gray we've known for years and that we played DayZ with over there on Numb Thumbs Gaming League on their DayZ server. Is this the same Richard? He's great. He's the biggest mover of the race, up 14 spots.
He loves plate track racing, but he'll make a mistake. He just made one by sliding out a little bit.
You gotta have help.
But no, Richard's pretty good at this. He's not.
He ain't no slouch.
No. Now his reflexes aren't as good as the younger fellas, but
oh yeah, those whippersnappers is what he calls them, I think.
Yeah, the whippersnappers that are anywhere
40, 50 years old, yeah.
Yeah, the 40, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds, all them young fellas.
Well, up front, the trend continues as Kevin Winker continues to push the 00 of Joe Bennett. What this is really cool for a mostly single file, all green flag plate race. I know there's some fans out there in the YouTube chat that were calling for a little bit of quote unquote excitement. And I know what that's code for.
What's that mean? They want to fight?
Code for I want to see a caution. I want to see a wreck.
I want to see a fight.
These guys are doing some great racing out there nonetheless. Without all of the violence and carnage and destruction.
I want to see all that too. I
Hey,
want to see somebody hit somebody with their helmet.
Look, hey, we know what happens at plate tracks and these pack racing tracks, right? Once it's a couple of laps to go, all bets are off. There's going to be people wrecking and spinning all over. You watch. These guys are going to race each other clean until it's, hey.
Yeah, end of the race. Yeah, you're right. It gets wild at the end of these pack races.
These guys have gone flag to flag on these big tracks, though, before. Let's not kid ourselves. They've done it. So will tonight be different, or will they finish this thing under green? We're going to see all together here, guys. Pretty cool track though to have a night race, man. Such a huge track here. And when they started putting lights at these big tracks like this, it was just, people thought it was crazy. They said, how are you going to do it without shining the lights in the drivers' faces? But they've got the lights angled from the inside wall there to where they kind of shine at the drivers, I guess 7, 8 o'clock, to where it doesn't shine right in their face. So if you've ever wondered why these races are so well illuminated at these NASCAR tracks, it's all about the angle of the lights hitting the cars.
Pitt, Stubblefield's in, Zeth Holly's in. A lot of people talking about it. So here we go, second round.
One of Derek Welch joining them as well, the 5 of Kraft. Oh, man, bunch of pitters coming in, some of them 3 wide.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see another fight down there in pit road.
Hopefully we don't see any more spinning out or contact between cars on the pit lane. So far, everybody obeying the 60-mile-an-hour speed limit. 23, Mark Collins calling out on the radio.
Man,
Anthony Williams in the 4. Coming down with him.
Mark Collins maybe with a good call to hang on and not quite pit just yet, let the craziness happen, because if he were to come down now, he's only fighting with a couple other cars here coming on down into pit road, so that shouldn't be too bad. As Chris Klein goes side by side with a double nickel of Tom Barish behind him, though, it's going to be absolute mayhem. Lawson, Durkee, Coleman.
Durkee was rolling pretty quick. I won't be surprised if he gets posted. He passed a couple of cars and he was still moving pretty good when he crossed that cone. We're going to see here in just a second.
As the gambler, Paul Ferdiani, staying on out here. Yet to come on down for his final pit stop of this race. Same thing with the 9 of Joe David, yet to come on down. And 747 of Albert Anderson, yet to make their final pit stops thus far.
So far, pretty good job by everybody. I can tell. We watched a few guys that were practicing their pit lane entry during the practice session. So good on them to go ahead and do that. As we've got a couple of teammates that are coming out of the pit lane together, about to merge back into traffic. Coleman in the 8 and his teammate in the 19 machine sucked back up to each other there, ready to get back drafting. Kevin Haas in the 51 as manually disconnected. So we have our first casualty tonight. He's putting it back up on the trailer tonight. Save some for next week, I guess.
Well, not everybody loves this track. I will tell you that. I don't think Haas was having a terrible race.
I think Las Vegas next week is going to, some of these guys are going to enjoy that maybe a little bit more than a pack racing track, because Vegas is one of those places where it's a little bit more technical.
Dave Holberg
with a 63. He's having to re-pit because he sped on exit.
Is that why he's coming back down?
Yep, he's coming down.
Take your word on that. Black flagged.
Yep, he's going to lose another lap. Already 1 lap down. So that leaves Joe David right now. Your first car 1 lap down in that 9 machine. Well, I'll tell you this, Alan Brown. You've been a trooper tonight. It sucks having the flu. But, man, what a trooper tonight. You've done such a great job out here tonight so far. And we appreciate you more than you can ever imagine on these broadcasts.
Absolutely, my friend. As we still have some great racing left to go. Here comes Ferdiani down onto the apron here.
Well, what I'm concerned about, to be honest with you, Brown's under the weather, but I think that Gates guy he probably infected the microphone with something, and it got to Brown. And we're gonna have to get to the bottom of this. It's probably my fault, Brown. I'm sorry I have so much discontent for the world. I hope you get better, though. Hope you get the antibody for whatever it is.
Drink some orange juice, you'll be fine.
Isn't that what your grandma used to tell you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you take it in to give you a little whiskey and tea. Yeah, they'd give me that too. The grandma, just a
I like
little
that.
bit.
What is it called? Emergency. The powder.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I mean, it's too late for Brown. He's already got He's already contracted He's already contracted it.
Yeah, but it can help you fight it.
In natural way. But that's all that is concentrated orange juice.
Yeah, it's vitamin C. Yeah.
Vitamin C. You need vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, and vitamin B.
B12.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Or is it B6 or B12 that gives you the immunity?
12.
12. Okay.
Wow, so aggressive.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah,
I didn't even know if I was right. I just wanted to yell at him. Sorry.
It sounds like he's at an auction or something for cattle, and he's like,
yeah.
12.
I'm about to buy some goats around here. We'll talk about that off air.
All right.
Yeah, but
and some chickens. Go ahead.
I will say though, right now, an interesting development out here on the racetrack with 17 laps left to go. Kevin Winker, he is surrounded by lap traffic right now, and nowhere near second place. He is about 6 seconds, almost 7 seconds up the road from Derek Welsh and Dylan Bryant back here in a chase pack. But Winker, and you were talking about it earlier there, Mr. Turner, where it don't matter if you're third or 33rd. You can be either helping or hurting or doing something to affect this race, and that is exactly what's going on here with that 42 of Winker, where he's got the 00 Joe Bennett machine in front of him, 79 of Stubblefield, 1 lap down, fighting for that lucky dog spot. Same thing with the 48 of Zeth Hawley there, fighting for that lucky dog spot. But there's a possibility where if he can keep it together with these guys, and they've all pitted and everything, and can make it to the end, that we have ourselves a little bit of a runaway, and the real fight is going to be for who comes in second, third.
I love what the goats are doing back here. Look at the 8 of Coleman, the 19 of Lawson, and the 33, or I'm sorry, the 13 of Durkee back here. They're running the outside line. They're running really tight together. They're following each other. They're talking on the radio. They're doing everything they can to preserve where they're at and try to advance. Paul Ferdiani is leading the inside line right now, but it's kind of a mixed bag as far as teams go on that low line. You got the goats out here working together really well. Look for these guys to maybe make some moves here as this chase pack is really catching up.
Yeah, everybody's just in the groove right now. We have not seen anything wild and crazy, which is rare at Daytona. So, very smooth race so far.
Well, it's about to, we're closing in on 10 to go already, and that's an amazing thing because this, it's because this race has gone green the whole time here so far. We've seen nothing but green flag pit stops, and they've been clicking off laps, 46 seconds apiece, 47 seconds even. And the finish is going to be outstanding. I can't wait to see how the excitement's building in me, man.
I don't know, man. We've seen so many great finishes at plate tracks. I think Talladega brings out the best finishes.
There's more room.
That's just my opinion, and it's longer.
And it's the location of the start-finish line.
It's like in golf, the location of the pin,
Yeah.
But still, here at Daytona is just as good. I mean, it's going to be awesome to see him come out of turn 4 and just fight like crazy to win this thing. Somebody's going to get their feelings hurt at some point at the end of this thing.
We still got a lot of racing left to go here in the Numb Thumbs Racing Xfinity series. We're what are we? A little over halfway through the season here. We still got a lot of racing left to do. So there's still a lot of points to be collected here. Oh, as the 4 goes down below the yellow, that's Anthony Williams in the CCE Ford Mustang. He was kind of forced down there he just kind of bailed out because he didn't like what he saw there in this mid pack.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta bail, you know.
No.
Especially when you're starting to get a little bit of heat in the engine, you want to take some of that out of there, bail out, and it's not the end of the world here. You're still what? We're at 12 laps left in this thing, 12, 13 laps. You can still go from chump to champ in no time here.
Look at the GOAT crew here, there, Adam. They're controlling both lines right now in this chase pack. We've seen them move back and forth a little bit, but one thing consistent we've seen is that they're covering both lines. They're leading both lines in the chase pack right now.
Yeah, but what is that? What are they going to gain out of that at this point? At this point,
they're just preserving position right now, I think.
Well, right, but are we going to catch the front pack, or we're not going to catch the front pack?
They can probably get there. We got 10 laps to go here as soon as they cross the line here, so I think they've got a shot at it.
Well, if they're going to catch it, they need to do whatever it is. If it's single file, if it's 3 wide, you got to figure out what's best for everyone.
Well, I think they're going where the speed is, and I mean they're all together now on the inside line now because that's where the speed is.
Well, you said they were blocking everybody. I mean,
no, I didn't say they were blocking.
They were controlling. Right. I know. I'm just kidding. But that's probably the best thing that you just said right there. Just go where the speed is.
751 Adamson's in the outside wall. We've got secondary wrecks happening out there on the track. I'll be surprised if this isn't a yellow. And there it is. Yellow flag is out.
751?
751 Adamson involved. It looks like Larry Dickerson was in on that as well. There was some secondary accidents that were occurring there. Looks like Joe David may have been involved.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Adamson just manually disconnected.
Wow. You got the 15 involved, the 69 involved, 55 involved. Same thing, 747 of Albert Anderson as well as that 9. Ooh, 69 hard up into the outside wall there. But that changes things on up here. A late yellow here from Daytona, bringing everybody back together. I do believe that means
Stubblefield.
I believe Stubbs.
Yeah.
Does he get? I think he gets the wave around here.
I think he's the lucky dog.
It's showing that on my screen as well. Stub Nation 200.
How fitting.
Yeah, give him his lap back and get up here and win this thing. You're on the lead lap, you're on the lead lap near the end of this thing. You can win it. Promise you that.
It's like the 69's down a cylinder or two. He's trying to maintain speed so he doesn't get anybody else black flagged for passing somebody they're not supposed to. Oh, Vincent Short is missing the whole front clip. Oh, man, he was our pole sitter tonight.
He's
missed the whole front end off that car.
You don't need that. The front clip, back clip.
Mike Adamson.
Actually, you do need it here.
Mike Adamson joining us over there on the YouTube chat saying he's not very happy right now. We talked about it earlier, Mike. These pack races, you can do everything perfect. You can do everything right. You can use all of your skill and do great things out there, and then something happens that's out of your control, and it can just wipe you out. I understand the frustration. I've been on both sides of it. It definitely does happen. Looks like the 9 did claim responsibility for that. Is that why he got the EOL there, fellas?
It's a possibility, but man, it's hard to claim responsibility on something that just looks like everything just got checked up in. It's, you know, like in a train reaction, you got to go pretty far forward to really see what the absolute cause was. But either way, we're getting ready to get our own little good start here.
Yep. Tim Stubblefield did get his lap back, so he will be at the back of the field in the longest line. Joe David will be back there with him as he did claim responsibility for the incident and given the EOL. So we got to talk about it, guys. Cautions breeding cautions. It's late in the race. Everybody's going to be being aggressive. Do we see this thing go green to the end, or do we see cautions breeding cautions and more wrecks happen?
I hope we see a fight.
I know you're going to say that.
Just want to hear somebody yell at somebody. Oh, man. Is that Albert Anderson said he's down on power?
Yes, sir.
It's
Albert
not
Anderson
gonna
was
be good.
bad damage. He's already 2 laps down, I believe.
That's terrible. America's driver having a rough one.
Yep. Side by side down the back stretch here, entering turns 3 and 4. Lights are off on that Mustang pace car. We're going to see them duck off here in just a second. Get this restart underway. They'll restart with 6 to go. I'm sorry.
And that they will. Kevin Winker, Welch up front. Dylan Bryant, Jason Kraft, Nick Biddy, Chris Klein, Mark Collins, Justin Lawson, Paul Durkee, and Anthony Williams all up inside this top 10. But we're all on the same lap here, all the way back to 19th, where Stubblefield is hanging on here at the end of this field. Going to try to cut up and make some moves here for the final 6 laps or so of this race, as here we go. Pace car coming on down and in. That means we're getting ready to head on back to green flag racing here at Daytona. Side by side, they go down across the line, and they're going to stay stacked up here as they head on down towards turns 1 and 2. The 42 getting a good push from the 03. The 1 wishing the 5 would get up there and give him a little bit of a shove here, get him back up to speed as they make their way down through turns 1 and 2 right now. That bottom line just coming through with a whole massive chunk of speed. 32 and Nick Biddy getting around, almost all the way around the 1, as here goes the 03 Dylan Bryant looking to the outside now, trying to maybe recapture some of that momentum the outside line can get here and leapfrog over that 42 of Kevin Winker as they make their way down into turns 3 and 4.
Got a little bit of a checkup on the inside line. The 33 of Ferdiani had to duck below that double yellow just to avoid some of the contact that was starting to happen there with a couple of cars in front of him.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but Mike Adamson says here in the chat he's not very happy. So that could be a fight. That could be a fight. Maybe he wants to expound on it.
Look at the outside line trying to get together here. We got the 03 being pushed by the 1. They're getting a pretty good run. Let's see if they run out of gas or if the 03 is able to clear the 42. It doesn't look like they're going to get there. They need more help on the outside line if they're going to get that thing to run enough to push the 03 of Dylan Bryant to lead the outside line.
As they come back down across the line, 4 laps to go now, we can see from the perspective of the 23 Mark Collins, who's had himself a very good race here tonight. Stuck up on that outside right now, a few rows back, but he can see the distance he needs to get to possibly pick up the win here tonight as the side draft underway here. Pinching. Oh, there goes the 23.
Tri-oval.
Well, that's a big in there. Look at that. Who's
Oh.
that flipping and sliding all over the place in the red car 18, I think it was. Woo.
I believe it was the 13.
Was it the 13? I was
Or
in
I'm
the
not the
blimp view.
13. The 19 of Justin Lawson. The 19 of Lawson doing a little bit of mileage on his roof there.
I think you're right.
As the 23 and the 19, that's where the contact originated. Wow, what a mess. Half the goats got taken out there. It looked like the Ada Coleman missing some body panels as well. Incredible action here late as once these guys get back out on the track and form back up, this is going to be our first green white checker.
And that it will be as Timothy Stubblefield just sneaking through here. I think he had to do a little bit of saving himself here to avoid this mess.
Man,
Oh.
for sure.
Collins got into him. Collins got into Lawson. Whew. Ugly.
All right, so green white checker racing to finish this thing off here tonight, coming at you from Daytona.
Hashtag StubNation200 here at Daytona. We appreciate Stub Nation out there supporting their driver and appreciate the sponsorship of tonight's race. So we've got 3 attempts at a green-white checker. We just seen several cars come down using a fast repair. We're still gonna see some hard racing action here. 3 attempts at a green-white checker, guys. We
3.
potentially still have a lot of racing left here to
Well,
go, even though
we
we're
got
almost
3.
lap 80.
If we got 3, I got to make another drink. I've been sitting here dry for a while.
You better go ahead and just do
Rutabaga.
it.
Rutabaga.
Rutabaga. Love it. The 19 of Justin Lawson, one of those cars that you use in a fast repair here. What did these guys get? 2? No, they only get 1 fast repair. Wow. So a lot of these guys, if they were involved in an earlier incident and happen to burn that, they're kind of out of luck, aren't they, Brown? I mean, they can try to get their pit crew to manually bang out some aero damage, but I mean, it's really bad news for you if you got engine damage.
I mean, it really is, but you know, it's the gamble of the century. What to do here on these runs here in green white checker finishes, and of course, it just means anything is up for grabs here.
Yes, indeed. These guys, these guys have done plenty of plate racing with each other before. They know who the aggressive ones are, and they know what they're going to have to do, where they're going to have to be. That's the biggest question. Where do you have to be to take the win coming out of turn 4 here at Daytona on the final lap? And to me, that's right there on that double yellow line, leading the inside line. It's not like Talladega where kind of outside line is the place to be, because you know you're going to get a good run if you got guys pushing close to you, because the start finish line is so much farther away from the exit of turn 4 than it is here. Here it's right dead center of the tri-oval, so not a lot of opportunity for that outside line to make a run. But I don't know. You could argue that that's where the accident is going to happen, is on the inside line. There's a lot of second guessing these guys are going to be doing as they come around the track for the last time. I'm not convinced that this is going to be our last green flag.
Yeah. Do it.
the last couple laps shenanigans have been any indication.
Shenanigans.
Oh, you love that bar? No Super Trooper fans there? Okay.
I missed that.
Anyway, we go back to green flag racing here with the 03 and the 42 side by side. First attempt at this green-white checker finish. They got to try to get back around and take that white flag before we see another caution for this 1-2 count. So side by side they go down into turns 1 and 2. Still side by side here with the 1 and the 32 behind them, trying to give a big old push here. You got Biddy, Kraft, Klein, Dickerson, Ferdiani all in it for a chance to win it here as well, trying to fight their way up on and through. Richard Michelob Gray there sitting in 10th, picking the high side here, trying to maybe pick up a little bit of an extra run as we go into turns 3 and 4. Still looking smooth here as we race our way down to the line. Little beating and banging going on down into the tri-oval here. 3 wide, 69 tucking back into the outside lane. White flag is waving, so no more cautions here tonight. This lap is it. The 03 getting a good push by the 1. The 42 wishing he could get a little bit more out of that car right now. Getting a good push from the 32 of Biddy. Side by side, they trundle along nose to tail. The 1 getting the 03 a little bit loose there, making a huge scatter miss.
Wide.
Oh, the 1. Oh, that's going to be a big wreck. We're going to end up having 3 or 4 people in it for a chance here. The 03 getting all knotted up, now teamed up with the 5 of Jason Kraft. The 42 with no help on the outside whatsoever. The 13 of Paul Durkee makes it on through here as well as they come out of turn number 4. The 03 trying to stay down low as they come across the line, racing with the 5, and it's gonna be the 03 of Dylan Bryant beating out Jason Kraft and Kevin Winker. Ferdiani, or excuse me, Durkee was close, as well was Lawson Collins and Michelob Gray.
Yeah, Richard. Wow.
How about old Paul Durkee, man? He had a big run. He was right behind Kraft. I thought he might have a shot to get around everybody, but he did his damnedest there.
Yeah, Richard Gray just weaseled his way up there, I'd say.
Well, he
got through that crash, so good for him.
He did pick up a 7th place out of that.
Top 10. I'll tell you what, a top 10 here is really doing something.
It's something. But Bryant, Kraft, and Winker, your top 3 here. Paul Durkee helping the 5 on the outside. Justin Lawson, all that damage on that last wreck, used a fast repair. He'll round out your top 5. Great recovery there for the 19 of Lawson.
Bryant's just burning it down.
Hey,
it's a really sleek paint job he's got. That I like that metallic 03 Pepsi machine. Looks real cool with the way it looks off the lights. That metallic looks neat. Yeah, I'd burn it down. I'd never won anything except Michigan. I'm good at Michigan.
Well, either way, we can get these interviews up underway here as we're joined by our 3rd place finisher here tonight, and that's going to be the 42 of Mr. Kevin Winker, looking so solid there up at the front for so much of this race. But of course, it comes on down to green-white checker finishes, Kevin, and everyone knows how those finish, and that's by not knowing how it is going to finish. And still able to hang on here tonight, though, for a podium finish there in 3rd, just to kind of walk us through those final few laps here, buddy.
Yeah, that one kind of stings. I had that one in the bag there till that caution came out with whatever, and then I knew I was kind of sitting duck, and then I don't know whoever was behind me, but they couldn't really push, so I was kind of sitting duck there again to Welch and Bryant, and then I don't know what happened the last lap there, but Welch got 3 wide or something, and I at least missed a big wreck, came on with 3rd, so I can't be too upset with that.
Yeah, you're kind of at the mercy of whoever's behind you. But great job. The Muehlberger Custom Homes number 42 Chevrolet Camaro. Great outcome for you here. 3rd place points are big. 2 points off the lead there. But yeah, you had a dominant car here earlier. I should say just dominant skill, dominant luck. I mean, this is a fixed racing league, right? But next week is going to be a little bit different. You guys going to Vegas, where it's a more technical track. Are you looking forward to it? Racing with your teammates out there at Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas is always usually fun. I know it's kind of like pack racing, but you could burn off the right front pretty quick there. So it should be interesting. And then, as always, fuel strategy is going to come into play there with the 1.5 mile saving and all that. So it should be another fun race to do.
Mr. America, what do you got for shout outs or whatever? Congratulations on the 3rd place finish. Well, who do you like to shout out this week?
First, give a shout out to Bruce Muhlenberger, as always, for coming on board,
Oh,
sponsor me. So can't thank him enough. I know he's watching every race, so big shout out to him. Big shout out to all my friends and family watching: Brett, Nicole, Shauna, Justin, Brandon. I'm sure I'm missing people, but big shout out to all you guys watching. Shout out to my teammates there. We worked well. I got Zeth and Joel there back on the lead lap, and like I said, I thought we had that in the bag, but just wasn't meant to be. But shout out to them as always. Shout out to Derek and all the guys that put this league on, and then you as always for putting on the broadcast. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations here, man, on a 3rd place finish for you tonight in that 42 machine. We look forward to seeing what you guys can do coming back here again next week, and we look forward to seeing you guys back in action.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
And so with that, we'll move on up a spot here to our 2nd place finisher here this evening, and that's going to be the 5 of Jason Kraft making his return to iRacing here after a little bit of a layoff going on there for him, but up 11 spots to take away 2nd place here, Jason, and it even looked like you were going to try to make a run there, coming back across the line just a little too short there, but still looked like a heck of a job done there for you guys on the track.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I've been away for quite some time. I've been traveling for work and stuff, but been doing a couple of truck races at Daytona with my guys from APX, Timothy Stubbs, and everybody. Shout out to him for sponsoring this race. Wish it could have been him. They got a decent finish, but I'm glad to finish 2nd for him. And yeah, it just feels good to be back.
Yeah, that AARP Drive to End Hunger Chevrolet Camaro was really strong out there. We thought that Paul Durkee. Talk about that a little bit. I think if Paul would have got to your bumper just a little bit sooner, you guys might have finished 1, 2, or at least 1st and 3rd with that low car on the middle, kind of splitting y'all up. Is that kind of the place to be here at Daytona, or would you have rather been down low?
I feel like I would rather have been down low, but coming out of I believe it was coming out of 2 on the backstretch. I noticed that Derek went up high, so I stayed low, which I apologize to Derek for the contact we made, which caused him to wreck. I apologize about that. But other than that, yeah, I felt very comfortable on the bottom the whole race, so I decided to stay down there and stick it down there all the way out to the end.
Well, great job tonight. Podium finish. Can't ask for much more except for 1st place, obviously, but it's tough here at a track like this. Play track racing. To be up front, it's a testament. So good job. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank or shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to thank NTR for letting me be a part of this league. They put on a great show every week. I want to thank you guys at AAA Broadcasting. Good broadcast every week. Thanks to Timothy Stubblefield and my guys at APX for letting me be a part of the team, and just great job to everybody at NTR.
Awesome. Well, congratulations there, Jason. Solid 2nd place finish for you here tonight from Daytona. We look forward to seeing you guys back out in action here once again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
As we move on up to tonight's race winner, it's going to be the 03 of Mr. Dylan Bryant taking the victory home here tonight from Daytona here in these Xfinity cars. Dylan, congratulations. A great run for you out there tonight, looking strong up at the front for pretty much all this entire race, and it looks like everything fell your way just in time for that green-white checker finish, and you're able to make some great runs and pick up the big W here tonight?
Yeah, it feels great to come back from a 2-week break and get the first win of the season for 2023. And I had a lot of bad luck the past like 5 to 6 weeks, so I would have been okay with a podium finish. But hey, first is great, and I was hesitant starting first on that last restart because I knew if I um, got Derek cleared of the outside lane that he was going to pull up and I kind of expected it. I kind of blocked him some, not a very aggressive block, but it kind of stuck him in a bad spot and I think he got turned. So if it wasn't for Derek, I wouldn't have even gotten the lead anyway. Um, so I'm kind of happy, but I'm kind of down because I was hoping that Derek would snag him up at least a podium. He runs great every week, and he just kind of gets the short end of the stick. So
We kind of call that the sucker hole, right? When you got
yeah,
get stuck in the middle. And to Derek's credit, he's a great driver, but he's got a steering wheel too. He kind of
yeah,
could have picked where he could have gone there, but great
yeah.
luck for you out there, and great racing skill out there in that Pepsi Toyota Supra. Next week, you guys going to Vegas, man. Do you like that track? Do you like your chances?
I've won Vegas a few times. I've been trying to figure out my new wheelbase, so it's been causing me a lot of troubles. I worked on it last night for like 7-8 hours. Didn't even expect to race to a night, but um, hopefully the will act right, and I won't burn up my right front. And if I don't, I should have a top five car. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, if it's doing you terrible right now, you hadn't got it figured out, and you're sitting there in first, I'd take it. I think that's only going to get better from there. Man, I feel sorry for these guys next week if you put a little practice in with that new wheel. Hey, congratulations, awesome job. Daytona's a blast. We enjoyed watching it. Any more shout outs for you?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Larry Dickerson. He's my teammate with Dirty Donkey Racing. He won the last race of last year, and I won the first one, and it does feel good to win back-to-back Daytonas and NTRL. It's very competitive. Everything that Derek Welch does for the league, all the sponsors, I'm sure he gets pulled in 1,000 ways and got to deal with a lot of other stuff and the race control tonight did an outstanding job and Triple A broadcast, y'all are by far my favorite cast to watch. Y'all do a great job and I definitely look forward to going back and watching the broadcast since I forgot to save the replay of it. But that should be it. And my girlfriend and stuff that allows me to race and spend thousands of dollars on monitors and pedals and everything else. So
You're a smart man. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Thinking all the right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, either way, you get to walk home the race victor here tonight. Congratulations, Dylan. We can't wait to see you guys back out here in action again next week, and we always enjoy having you all up here. So good job there, buddy.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Here's my thoughts on it. I love Daytona. It was a good race.
Yeah.
Damn, this new steering wheel. I can't get it dialed in. Oh, but I won the damn race. That was funny. I loved it.
That's a little humility there from the
Yeah,
Carolina native.
Good job, Dylan. Great win from him.
Indeed. So as we kind of wind this puppy on down, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up in this race with that 03. Dylan Bryant walking home top step of that podium here, the race winner. 5 Jason Kraft up 11 spots. A great run there for him. Finishing in second. 42 Kevin Winker. Wish he could have picked up the win, but a solid third place finish nonetheless. there for him. 13, Paul Durkee made it through the madness to finish in 4th. Same thing with his teammate there, the 19, Justin Lawson, finishing in 5th. You got the 23, Mark Collins. Mac Daddy looked like he was having a great race, getting kind of knotted up there kind of towards the end, but able to walk away with a 6th place finish. Hard charger of the day, that 110, Richard Michelob Gray, up 19 spots on the evening, finishing there in 7th. So great run there, Richard. Got the 8 of Brandon Coleman finishing here tonight in 8th, with the 32 of Nick Biddy finishing in 9th, with 00 Joe Bennett. Excited for his Jaguars making it to the playoffs and picking up a top 10 finish here tonight.
Yeah, and he was a lap down there late in the race and was able to get back up on the lead lap, get it top 10. That's what a great finish for the 00. 48 of Zeth Hawley, up 8 spots to finish there in 11th place. 12th place will be Anthony Williams in the 4 machine. 69 of Larry Dickerson, up a bunch of spots there from 22nd. He'll finish in 13th place. 14th will be the Gambler, Paul Ferdiani, in the 33. The double nickel of Tom Barish finished right where he started, right there in 15th place. The 1 of Derek Welch, involved in a late race incident there. He ran up front quite a bit here tonight in the top 5. He'll finish in 16th place. The 18 of Chris Klein, up a spot. He'll finish 17th. Let's see. 18th will be our race sponsor, Timothy Stubblefields, hashtag StubNation. Out there, thank you all for all the support from all his fans and from him as well. The 79 car finishes the first car 1 lap down. The 19th place will go to Scott Milner in that orange Reese's car. And rounding out your top 20 tonight, also 1 lap down, Albert Anderson, America's driver, in the 747.
63, Dave Holmberg, ended up 21st. 15, Vince Short, 22nd. 751, Michael Adamson, rough night, 23rd. Joe David in that 9 car, 24th. 051 of Kevin Haas was 25th. And we'd like to thank Kyle Hess. He was race control tonight.
Yeah, indeed. So that is your field here from Daytona. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. As always, you guys are the reason why we do this and have such a good time of doing it. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, as we are live 5 nights a week here once again. And you don't want to miss any of this great racing action, as well as, if you do like it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and let Mark Zuckerberg there know that, hey, we need to share this with more and more people, which just helps us grow, or continue to grow, this fantastic community. Of course, big thank you to sponsors like Stub Nation here tonight. Thank you guys so much. Big thank you to Track Bar Media, as well as JP Designs, 3D Prints as well. Thank you guys. AdminBoxx, of course, jumping on board. We also got SimGearCentral.com, as well as TrackDogsRacing.com. All great sponsors. Same thing with the Numb Thumbs Gaming Trucking Community and Davidson Builders there as well. We thank you all so much for sponsoring this league, because without your help, they wouldn't be able to put on the great show that they are able to do each and every week for you. So on that note, our next race will be tomorrow night, coming at you from the ever so infamous Turn 2 of Pocono, with the Next Gen Cup Series coming at you live tomorrow night from NTRL. So be on the lookout for that one. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We are signing off.
We gone.
See ya.